Buckets. That's the name of my boat. Buckets.
Buckets. What we get.
Not the only transfer we got from Florida. Keith Stone, too. Remember that.
Everybody who watches his show on a regular basis knows my love of the stretch four.
You know, we all make mistakes. He might have made one going to Tallahassee.
If y'all don't know. Dribble to the left, cross over to the right. Hurricane to the game, many buckets for the night. Matt with the pick and roll, Melissa with the give and go. This Shelly, you, hoodie girl dunking in the hole. Check the scoreboard, this what we fall for. Peep the gameplay, they want an encore. Yeah, overtime for another round. It's buckets out the buckets, baby. You're out of time. It's buckets. What it is, homie, it's buckets. Woo! We get buckets. Yeah, baby, buckets.
I have no shame.
I know. That's the problem.
You guys are awesome.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Buckets. I'm Matt. He's Vish. He's Melissa. The squad has got the matching hoodies on.
We've decided to formalize our cult here, and we will now be dressing the same.
In case
Every
you wanted
show.
to know where we
No.
got them, I figured I would advertise.
The team store.
Yep. We do not discriminate against different cane stores. We talk about a different one each night.
Yeah, you still got the Canes. We're up there above the board. And shout out to all Canes, too.
Yep. Yes. Shout out to all canes. Shout out to the team store for having these hoodies in all the right sizes. Although this is a small, it's not an extra small, but Adidas decided to have them run small. So I was able to mostly fit in this one. It's a little big, but we're good. I think the question everybody wants to know before we start talking hoops is, Matt, how's the ankle?
It's good. I took the splint off now because I have a boot that finally came. But I noticed, so it's like there's more bruising.
He's actively looking at it right now. He's doing some
Yeah,
searching.
well, and like it's kind of like there's like it's like my skin's kind of yellow too.
That's healed bruising.
Yeah, and it's like all the way up to like midway up my calf. So
Yep.
it's kind of so
It's
it
gonna
was
look
trippy. I
ugly.
woke up and I looked down like because I took it off in the morning and I thought I was like seeing things. I was like, what? So, but it's doing better. Hopefully start walking with just the boot and not crutches soon, but we'll see.
What's everybody drinking?
I got Mountain Dew.
I've got water.
Since we talked Gatorade previously,
We did
I
do a
thought I'd,
Gatorade Mount Rushmore.
Check it
Teriyaki
out.
Trashmore.
Madness, shout out.
think
we
we
got
did-
the Glacier Freeze.
I think we did a Gatorade Mount Trashmore, right?
We haven't done a Gatorade Mount Rushmore, just a Mount Trashmore. But the women won.
Wait,
so we're-
hold on, Matt. That is not just Mountain Dew. That is from an establishment. What was the dinner?
It was Teriyaki Madness. Do you guys have them? It's like
No.
it's like a flame broiler type thing, type place.
Oh, flame boiled, huh? Allegedly or
But-
for real?
No, but they like actually flame broil stuff. They don't just like paint, grill marks on burgers.
Shout out to our guy Nate.
Yes.
Nate will be reaching out to you in the off season. Well, one, because we're friends, but also because you're going to be one of our OGs on the Buckets OG show. So be excited since
One
we
of
won't
two
have
members
postseason
of
to talk
the
about.
Batty Ice fan club.
I
They're
feel like we
small,
should
but
get
they're
Gary
mighty.
as a guest appearance for a few minutes. I think it would be funny.
Talk about what, spicy nuggets? Like, what are we doing here?
He had his Chick-fil-A yesterday.
That's
He
what
gets
we
it
do,
every
man.
Friday. I actually did not have Chick-fil-A today, and it's because we ordered Shake Shack at work last night, and I didn't want to do fried chicken 2 days in a row.
So instead, you ordered a grab bag of snacks from CVS.
Well, that wasn't lunch. That was just for later.
It was scary looking at that bag of snacks because it was all stuff I would order too.
It was like a bag of Reese's peanut butter cups, chocolate chip cookie dough, and a Gatorade.
So were they were the full cups or like the mini cups?
It's the mini cups, and well, I wanted the king size one,
Right.
but like they didn't have it, so the guy, the DoorDasher, who was very thorough, was like, "Oh, they don't have it. These are like the other Reese's options," and it was like the 2-packs. I was like, "Is there anything bigger?" And he took a picture of like a bag of like mini ones that's like this tall.
Yeah, but I don't like I don't like the mini, like the tiny
They're
ones.
individually wrapped, so it's kind of annoying.
But I don't but they're like the small ones, right?
The mini cups, yeah.
Yeah, I hate
them.
those.
Okay, but
because you don't get enough peanut butter to chocolate ratio.
I think Vish is talking about the really small ones, right? That are unwrapped in the bag.
It's not the Reese's Pieces.
They're not unwrapped.
You want me to go get them? They're in my refrigerator.
Because there's ones that are even smaller than the mini ones too.
Wait, yeah, go get them. This is important.
Yeah.
It was not the CVS across from campus. It's the CVS on US 1 and Kendall. Nate will know where I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me go get them.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. It's the same one we go to. I should remind our viewers when Melissa goes and gets the bag of candy that she lives next door to a Target.
I didn't feel like leaving that. It's this.
Okay, there's ones that are smaller than that too.
Wait, but those are small, right? Those are like
but there's
quarter
ones that are
size.
small. There's ones that are smaller than that have like even less. There's less.
I don't care for those.
Butter.
They're fine.
Here.
But you don't
Here.
get
This is a regular iPhone compared to the Reese's.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like those to me,
Oh, that
those
smells good.
She's gonna be chain eating chocolate the rest of the show now because of us.
Well, I guess I should probably eat one now that I've opened the bag, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you kind of have to, yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
But see, I don't care for those as much as the.
There weren't a lot of options.
No,
Listen,
I
I was
get
just happy they had the chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. That's really why I was door dashing CVS, because I wanted ice cream. And so last time I tried to DoorDash from CVS, they didn't have the ice cream. So all I got was a Gatorade and a Reese's king size. So I basically paid a tip.
That would be hilarious if you DoorDash Target.
Me and Melissa got a
DoorDash
Reese's
Target
king size at the same time
I have
last
no
time.
idea.
Remember a few
No,
days
because
ago?
Target.
Oh yeah.
We
were eating king size Reese's the same day.
Well, no, because Target does their own delivery. You could order delivery from Target and have them walk across the street.
Listen, I left work late last night. It was a very, very bad night of work. So I slept until like 1:00 today. I left work at like 3:30. I slept until 1 today, and I didn't get out of my pajamas except to take a shower to put pajamas back on. And then I threw on this hoodie now. But cheers.
Cheers.
This is what happens when we want to avoid talking about the men's team, but let's talk about chocolate instead.
I'm gonna go put this back in my refrigerator because I like my Reese's cups cold.
That's a good plan. We should just talk about 2 Mount Rushmores today instead.
Well, we got to
talk about talk about the women's, talk about 2 Mount Rushmores, and get out of here.
Tomorrow is Sophia Sulich's senior day, so it's a big day for. Oh, and Jada Patrick too. Let's not forget her. Yeah.
That was good. See, the main reason why I put that back in the fridge is because I would sit here and eat them the entire night. Well, I barely held up a thumbs up when it came up.
Was that on purpose?
No, it wasn't. Making sure it's not in my teeth the rest of the night, because that would be embarrassing.
You can't really see your teeth on camera, so it wouldn't really show.
Yeah, you can when I smile, though. We've had this conversation offline.
Yeah, we don't.
Me and Mitch have had this conversation a bunch. That I'm like, I have really big teeth. That was good though. But that was obviously my lack of willpower. I'm like, I need to put that back in the fridge, otherwise I'm gonna eat them the whole night. And nobody wants to see me chewing Reese's peanut butter cups on air for an hour or however long. So I had to troubleshoot some IT technical difficulties before the show. Vish called me as I fixed it. I was like, Vish, the monitor's not working. And him being a good friend was like, he called me and he's like, "Oh, did you try this?" And as I was like trying the last thing, it worked. So
I was in my head. I was like, I could definitely get over there before the show and fix it and come back here.
I wouldn't let you do that.
She lived that close. I was like, I could probably make it.
A connection got disconnected.
Yeah, but I'm literally I've been here other than like one week of weekdays in the middle. I've been in Miami for like a month. Other than like literally, I flew out on a Monday and back here on a Saturday. And I'm leaving tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, now it fucking breaks.
Do you miss DC?
Yeah, some. I definitely need to stop going to games though, so this will be good. Except of course you know what I was thinking? I was like, you know what? I'm going to too many sporting events. It's too much. It'll be good to not be located right by campus where I can just walk over there and go to every game. And then I realized, like in a week, ACC tournament, that's where I can walk over to it and watch
it.
I'm sad I'm working tomorrow because I really wanted to go to senior day for the ladies.
Yeah, no, that does suck.
So
that's unfortunate. Would have been good to go through together.
Before we start talking basketball, real quick, shout out to Canes baseball for beating the Gators today. Big win.
That was a
grudge match tomorrow for the series.
I'll be there for a few innings.
Shout out to my guy Rafe, who pitched really well today.
It's official now because you said it. You told me. Well I didn't realize it had become official. You told me you were thinking about it. It's happened.
Well, so I saw him. He started to come into his own in like towards the end of last season and in regionals. He pitched really, really well in relief against Texas. So and plus his name is Rafe. That's such a cool name. So I was really excited to see that he was going to be in our starting rotation, and like now he's pitching so well. I'm like, all right, that's my guy. I need to find a position player though because like he's only in one game a week, so I need to find my guy on a regular basis.
Jason Torres, Daniel Cuvée.
We've got some good ones. So,
I mean, if Lorenzo Carrier could hit a curveball, he would be the guy.
Well, because I like that he wears 99, but he's not. He also doesn't play every game.
There's a video.
Turning this into Canes on deck. What's going on?
Yeah. If I'll show you this. I'm not gonna go start googling on the air here, but I'll show you. Like he was injured his freshman year, and then most of his like the first half of last year. So the first game he really played was against North Carolina on the road, and we put him in, and he comes up to his, and the dude obviously was not much of a scouting report. Throws, I'm just gonna get this over fastball. That man hit the ball. You have to see it. It's like the perfect swing and connection. Now, of course, everyone knows we throw him a changeup. It's a whiff, but they didn't know.
But he wears number 99, which I love.
So it's the thing. Dude, I retweeted and I was like,
anyone who throws him a fastball is a moron.
Yeah, well, now they know that.
Yeah,
this
but
guy
even
didn't
then,
know.
people throw him a fastball. He's got a few home runs on the year already.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think that what are we playing, Long Island or whatever, really has much of a scouting report. By the way, next Wednesday at the Light, Stonehill. Stonehill is in town.
Wait, this Wednesday coming up?
Yes.
Oh, I'm working. Dang it.
Well, I'm gone. So
I would have worn a shirt that says 3-2 defense.
This is it for me. Tomorrow's it for me. My month of just going to every Miami sporting event is coming to an end.
If Nate, if you're still in the chat, who pulls the hoodie off the best?
I mean, you're obviously the answer. You're a hoodie girl.
Yeah, but he's a fan of Matt. It's either me or Matt.
Yeah,
is basically the answer.
Wow, just always discriminated against, Yep.
Moving my chair over a little bit so you can see the board.
All
right, should we talk basketball now that we've talked about chocolate and baseball for the first 13 minutes of the show?
Should we start with the women?
Oh, Nate says
look at Nate being diplomatic there.
That's a very respectable answer, Nate. But Nate, I know it's me.
Why'd you ask the question then if you knew it was you? Look at this.
She just wants to hear it.
Where's my sign? Oh, there it is.
Oh God,
things are getting moved. It was hiding. I still got this awesome card that Nate gave me.
I thought you were pulling out the fuck sign.
No. It's under a bunch of things. The lady that comes to clean once a month. I put the fuck sign away, so she's like not like what the hell.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
It's Bush Gore.
Too soon. Never gonna get over that. That was my introduction. I was just old enough to vote. That was the first thing I did was take a punch card with a thumbtack and push it through that Al Gore box.
Not what's his name?
Pat Buchanan. No, that
Pat
was only in
Buchanan.
Palm Beach
I
County.
totally blanked. I was trying
No,
to.
that
That's like
actually
who
no,
the
that
hell are
was
you
your
guys
county
talking
that
about?
did that. That was your county that did
I
that.
wasn't old enough to. That
I
wasn't
know.
my county. That was
Yeah,
West Palm Beach.
No, the butterfly ballot was in Broward, right?
The ones that actually accidentally voted for Buchanan was West Palm Beach.
Which one was the screwed up thing in Broward? There was something screwed up there too.
Oh,
Anyway,
I don't know. I wasn't old enough to vote in that election, so.
I was barely. That was the first election I ever voted in, and that quickly turned
See?
into
Nate knows. It was
that
West
quickly
Palm Beach.
turned into, wow, this is so quaint. You're voting with a thumbtack and an index card into, why the hell don't we have computers to vote on? What is this crap? Anyway.
By the way, real quick, again, more tangents. If you're looking to get some really awesome hoodies, I may have something that's coming out in the near future. So stay tuned to Twitter. I might have more information next week.
Cryptic.
So,
you could go look at our Twitter now, and there's more information about that there. Anyway,
there is, and this is a lot more reliable than previous situations. So,
oh, we didn't talk about previous situations. Let's leave it there.
rude. Oh, that's right. They had a mine and Nate's freshman year. They actually had a presidential debate on campus in 2004.
I
I met Reverend Al Sharpton because he was walking through like the UC area.
Yeah, I know. I was volunteering for the Kerry campaign. I went to his after party at Miami Arena.
So, all right, let's talk
debate,
basketball.
and then shit went sideways.
Matt, did you catch the women's game?
No.
Are we talking men's first?
Why don't we talk
Doesn't
women's
matter.
first? 'Cause I think we'll spend more time on men's probably. But
I don't know if we will.
well, I mean, given that I don't know if you have an opinion on the women's, but this is the standings. So the women have locked up the 9 seed.
Which is important because that is a first round bye.
Yep, that's the first round bye. So we already know they're going to be playing Thursday at 1:30 against. That's the question.
Yeah.
Right now it'd be North Carolina. Duke and North Carolina play tomorrow.
We lost to North Carolina by 3.
Yeah, it was the one where Z didn't take the 3, drove in.
Yeah, and then we beat Duke.
We did beat Duke. Florida State, I think, is playing someone bad, so they'll probably win. So I don't think it'll be them. Florida State did beat us twice. It's probably going to be Carolina. I don't know. We're actually talking about this before the show. If anyone knows what the ACC tiebreakers are after head-to-head, please put that in the chat because I'm not sure exactly what they are. Because North Carolina had lost to Duke the first time, so if they beat them, they'll be tied head-to-head. I'm not sure what the maybe it's over. If it's overall record, it would still be Duke, I guess. But I don't know what the tiebreaker is there. So anyway, it's they could already be North Carolina. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the women won versus Pitt the other day,
which was a big one. Like Melissa said, the nine.
Lock up that bye.
Yeah, because if you look because again, Virginia's sitting there at 6-11. We did lose to Virginia, so if we were 7-10 and lost in Virginia 1, we could fall to 10th. So
yeah,
big win.
I think the biggest thing, and me and Vitch talked about this off air, was that Cheyenne Day Wilson has not been playing well the last few games. She hit that big 3 to wrap up. Who were we playing before?
Clemson.
Clemson. That she was like 0 for 10 before that, and then she didn't have a great shooting day the other day, and she, for the first time since I can remember in a long time, was not in late in the fourth quarter. Like
I think she only made 1 basket.
Yeah.
Last game, and it was the first basket of the game.
Yeah, so that's something to watch because she's kind of like our go-to clutch person.
Well, it's been Jasmine the last few games.
It has been. And also, Lachey and Jalea have also been making 3-pointers, which is really nice to see that they're getting their jump shooting.
Well, Lachey was awesome against against Pitt.
I wish we could make layups.
I wish our whole team could make layups, man.
Like in general, like I said, I wish we could make layups.
Well, we spent much of that was the quarter you didn't watch, but the reason the lead went away because we were up by 18. And it ended up being 9 or something at the end of 7 at the end of actually they cut it to 7 and then ran a backdoor play to open the fourth quarter and they blew the layup and then we went down, hit a 3 and it was like it's 10 again because we could have gotten into trouble there. But the reason that the lead kind of got shrunk was missing layups. We kept
Yeah.
trying to push the tempo and went down for fast breaks and just missed layups.
Yeah.
So
I think our big rotation is also interesting. The last couple of games we've kind of gone with like starting like Tosh and Z, and then having Kyla come in and play as the lone big, and kind of going back and forth with that.
Yeah, and it we'll see if we do that again against Georgia Tech, because I know against Georgia Tech last time, Kyla was one of the better play. We did beat them in Atlanta. She kind of dominated the paint, and Z and Tosh didn't have great games there. So, but Coach Myers seems to have settled on that two big starting lineup. So expect to see it again. Kyla got into foul trouble early against Pitt and hardly played.
What do you want to see in this game tomorrow?
I mean, definitely Cheyenne getting some shots to go in.
Yeah, I think Cheyenne needs to get on a roll before the ACC tournament for sure.
And we're still turning the ball over too much. We take a lot of risks, like just a lot of like, slow it up. Nope. both Jalea and Lachey do not. They only go fast, and then they go fast, and they go faster than fast, and that's it. Yeah. Like there's no slow up, which is actually might be why neither of them have been starting. Trying to settle in the game a little bit more, but. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I think at this point the rotation is what it is. Allie's not going to play, and
sorry, Matt.
Which is interesting because she started.
No, you're good. I'm reading the ACC tournament tiebreaker right now.
Oh, Matt's doing research while we talk about the women.
Yeah, I found it. So.
Okay, so do we have to do math on the fly here to figure out if we're locked into?
Well, so I just don't know how, because this is from 2020.
I know it's changed. They usually don't change it. So what is it?
Yeah. Then? So it says when two teams are tied in the standings, it's head-to-head results, right? Or uses a tiebreaker. Okay. If the tied teams play each other twice and they split their games, then each team's record versus the team occupying the highest position in the final regular season standings. Or in case of a tie for first place, the next highest position in the regular season standings, and then continuing down through the standings until one team gains an advantage.
Okay, so it's like who beat Virginia Tech, or if no one would beat Virginia Tech, who beat Syracuse.
Best record against
So does that? Okay, so let's do a quick. Here's Virginia Tech.
That's specifically for women, though. I don't know if it's.
I think it is the same now that you've gone through it. Okay. I doubt they lost to either of these teams, did they? They beat North Carolina twice. They beat Duke. Oh, they lost to Duke, so that would be it. You know what? I think we're gonna play North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Even if they win.
They beat down Duke.
Well,
Duke beat down Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Okay, so that did it. I guess we're gonna play North Carolina.
Revenge game.
Oh man, we're gonna play North Carolina in Greensboro. Kyla already fell out.
Ah shit.
These fucking bastards. That game was the one where they called. Look, Z should have shot the 3, and the game was probably over anyway. But that girl was standing under the basket. Now, for those that aren't aware, for some reason last offseason they eliminated the charge circle in women's basketball. So even though it's on the court most of the time because they share the same court as the men, it is not actually the rule. But this girl was all the way under the basket and moving, and they called a freaking charge, and we were going in for the time basket. So it's going to be fun watching everyone foul out. Actually, interesting enough, that game Allie was big in that game at North Carolina. So we'll see. Maybe she'll get out there in that game. That her season arc is definitely the weirdest one because she was coming in off the bench. Usually in the second quarter, if she played well, she'd get some time in the second half. If not, she wasn't. Then she started against Virginia, played the whole first quarter, and hasn't played since.
Had 2 turnovers, 2 fouls, and we haven't seen her since.
What a weird season. Even after Lamai got hurt, she really had some game minutes. But anyway, so I guess
I will say talking about the women in the offseason is going to be a lot of fun because
I guess the other thing to look at is Florida State.
But it'll be interesting because all we're losing is Jada. So I'm interested to see if we lose any other players to the transfer portal.
Yeah, we do have 3 bigs. So that is.
Well, Tasha's already used her transfer. so she'd have to graduate.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not necessarily going to be her, right? We have 3
No, I'm
bigs.
saying you're looking at Kyla and Z. But
There's and also there's a lot of guards.
yeah,
Lachey and Jalea kind of play the same position. We do have, a lot of people coming in too. We have a top 10 recruiting class. We'll see.
it's gonna be very busy for both the men and the women.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone hits the portal or not. We did have some players hit the portal this year. So
Some.
yeah, I think it was it only one? Who else went?
We just had a lot of players that were
that
leaving.
were leaving, graduating and stuff, and then
Well, one that said they were done with basketball and then decided later they wanted to play.
well,
A few graduates, transfer, another transfer.
I think
I don't know,
Kent's is the only one that transferred, right?
Well, I mean, technically, Haley decided to transfer.
I mean, that
after-
whole circus with her
Yeah.
wanting to stay here and her sister not wanting to, and her just going along with it, then having buyer's remorse is what
Yeah.
it is. And she didn't have the option of coming back here, so the positions had been filled. Even though every clickbait person that doesn't really follow the basketball team, managed to fire off an article. She could still come back to Miami, and when
We're like, no.
there's zero chance that Coach
Not
Fire is
happening.
gonna let her skip the entire offseason, bring in a bunch of new players, then throw her
You're
back
not-
onto the
you're not-
roster.
You're not replacing Cheyenne and Jada in this.
Well, it's also just if she wanted to come back, obviously she would have been on the team. But we interviewed Coach Meyer before the season started, and she talked about how important it was that they all went to Europe together, bonded, and kind of became close. And then you're just gonna have someone show back up after taking the summer off and and fake retiring, and then coming back in and being like, "Oh yeah, she's back." No, not to mention, and that's not even talking about the fact that she's certainly not a better player than Cheyenne. I don't know how many minutes she was going to get anyway. So, there's all sorts of stuff going on there.
Tomorrow's senior day, so shout out to Jada.
And Sophia Zulich.
Shout out to Jada.
Shout out to both of them. Okay, look, man, we're not doing that. Okay, so
Listen, I'm gonna miss Jada on this team next year. I've said it so many times on this show that she does not get enough credit for.
And
we've
talked about this on the side too. She's definitely
she does so many of the little things that don't get talked about.
Especially as chaotic as our team is, especially offensively at times, she is kind of the one.
Nate wants to know why doesn't Allie play?
So
a lot of really good players on the team,
but also she hasn't shot the ball well. She's actually our worst 3-point shooter.
She's a really good defender, though.
She's really good defensively and positionally, but her shot just hasn't gone in. And so we do generally when she comes in, we run plays for her, get her looks, and she just hasn't really been making them consistently. Part of that might be not getting enough playing time, but also we've shortened the rotation a bit lately. I mean, she started a few games ago, so it's not like she doesn't play at all. But she was always on the edge of the rotation, and at this point, now that we've gotten to the 2 big lineup, there's less guard minutes too, because we were rotating the 3 bigs in separately. Now that 2 of them are on the court, it does limit the minutes. So those are really going to Jada, Jasmine. Cheyenne usually plays 35 minutes a game if she's not shooting the way she did the last couple of games. So there's not that many minutes there.
Yep.
I think she will be in the rotation next year because Jada's gone.
And you got Lamaya coming off an ACL.
Yep. So I need to pick up 1 win minimum to do what? Because I think we're kind of fucked for NCAA seeding purposes, and we're not really on the bubble. We're in. So
we're in, but we've said, Vish said it before, that there's so many ACC teams.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll pull up that are going to get in. That it's what are we still predicted as an 8-9?
Yeah, we're the 9 against Nebraska in South Carolina's right now. But if you look at
stay in that one,
but I mean, if you look at the number of ACC teams, there's 9 of them, right? There's very few. We can't go here because NC State's the 3, right? We can't go here. North Carolina's the 7, and North Carolina should be in front of us. They're 3 games ahead of us in the standings, and they beat us, right? And then you
Well,
start
until we
looking through
beat them
this.
in Greensboro.
Notre Dame's here,
Mhm.
right? There's not that many. Theoretically, I guess we could go to Corvallis. No, we can't. Louisville's there. Like, there's not a lot of places to put us. And the thing is, if you look, Virginia Tech is a 2 seed, which hurts us more because there's not a 1. Despite the ACC has 9 teams, they don't have a 1 seed right now. If Virginia Tech wins the ACC tournament, they probably will be. So it's easy to shove us into an 8-9 because there is not another ACC team there. All these other places, you're finding there's an ACC team, there's an ACC team, there's an ACC team. I guess theoretically you go in here. There's another one. There's just not. I mean, we're gonna get an 8 seed basically. There's just nowhere else to put us.
It's unfortunate.
Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll go.
We're not beating South Carolina.
I'll still go.
You love Albany.
I do.
You've been there
Wes
before.
is gonna meet you there, and Bish is
Wait,
gonna be
why
like,
am I
"This is
going
my
to
toilet. This is my toilet."
Albany? Is the if we get to Albany, it's
Oh, it's Columbia. It's Columbia. Sorry.
It's South Carolina. If we get to Albany, it's because we beat South Carolina. You know what? I will go back to Albany for these women. Go get it to Albany. I'll go there.
Right.
I will.
Assuming we get an 8-9, this will be our 3rd year in a row.
Yeah,
in that 8-9 matchup.
It's the same thing as the last.
And 2 years ago, when South Carolina won it, we were the 8 seed playing them, and we lost. Last year, we were the 9 seed and actually beat the 1 seed at Indiana. But South Carolina is a whole nother animal.
Yeah, I don't really.
They haven't lost this year at all.
Yeah, and I don't really see a place for us to slot in really hardly anywhere.
Yeah. It's rough, but you know what? At least they're making the postseason.
Yeah, and okay,
Coach Meyer's the GOAT.
Yeah, and I think next year the big thing is just a little bit capitalizing more on opportunities. We had those 2 home games in the same week against Florida State and Syracuse. They're both really good teams. We lost them both, and that's when we basically fell to the bottom of the ACC pecking order for seeding in the tournament. And if you win both of those, we're actually not the 9 seed. We're higher up the standings, and there's an opportunity then to. And that's next year. We got to take care of more business, especially at home. Those were 2 home games. You win those, and all of a sudden they can't put you in an 8-9. You're too highly rated. They'll have to send you somewhere else. So, well, next year just win the ACC and get a 1 seed, and then we can play at home.
All right, let's talk about the men because Matt's bored.
Well, one last thing, just real quick. The schedule. This is the wrong one. This one. So this is where the women will be 8-9, 1-30 on Thursday, March 7th, ACC Network. If they advance,
the quarterfinals are on my birthday.
Well, let's get there for Matt here, and then
this Thursday.
Yeah, Matt.
Oh.
No, Friday.
No, the game. I'm off this Thursday. I can watch it.
Yeah, 1:30.
Maybe we can do a victory party post-game buckets.
Yeah, I have to work. It's 1:30
later that night. It doesn't have to be right after the game, unless people just want me to talk to myself. But again, I don't have producing privileges.
That was me last year doing basketball shows until Matt DM'd me. He was like, "Can I come on?" I'm like, "Please come on."
He did another show. I remember he did another show, and then I was in the comments. I was like, "You want me to come on?"
Yes, get in here. I'm talking to camera. That was before the Indiana game. I was like nervous. So I was like sitting at the game wasn't until like 9:30 p.m. It was snowing. I'm sitting there in a hotel room in Albany. I'm like, I got nothing to do here but be nervous. I'll just go on a camera and talk to it. And then Matt showed up and actually provide some insight. So if the women do win, they would advance and play same time on Friday. And then we start getting into semifinals, and then honestly,
so
even if
we'll win the championship on March 10th. Got it.
Yeah, at 1 p.m. Honestly, even if we do that, it might not get us out of the 8-9.
Yeah.
Just because the ACC launching.
No matter what, I always have the Destiny Harden 7 minutes of amazingness.
Still watch it.
It was the first thing I watched when I got my new laptop. I decided to christen it with some Destiny Harden amazingness in the ACC tournament semis.
Yeah, that was the first thing. So potentially, maybe not. I don't know. I think she's still got a couple of years left, and Coach Meyer tends to.
Why wouldn't you want to play for Coach Meyer?
Well, she's not playing for Coach Meyer. I think it's what Nate's saying that she's on the team, she's not playing. But that was as Nate said, she'd have to graduate because she already transferred once. So, we'll the women are actually going to have a postseason, so we can definitely delay the women player movement talk for several weeks.
Question: Does NBA
Pepperdine to Miami is a nice 2 schools to go?
Oh,
to.
we had this one pitcher a few years ago who I'm spacing on his name, but he went to USC or UCLA. I think it was UCLA. Graduated from there, but I think it was over COVID, and he got extra years because he got a medical hardship. Went to Yale or something, got a degree from there, and then came to Miami and pitched for us for a year. And I'm just like, that man did Los Angeles and Miami and has an Ivy League degree. Man, that is that's how you do it.
Quick question: does Rushmore's end and NBA grids start when the men's season ends, or when both seasons end?
I have not agreed to ending Rushmore's.
No, the off season we already said was for NBA grid.
You said that. I said we do both.
Who makes the decisions?
I think we do both, but it's up to you, Melissa.
Exactly.
We're gonna do both. What else
We're gonna run out of ideas. One of you already suggested an idea that we already did.
I don't know that we did the beer. I don't think we did.
Okay, are we sure that we did candy though?
We did candy for sure because you both said peanut butter cups immediately. Yeah, we did because I said wait.
Because we talked about doing it, and then you were like, "Oh, we got to save that for when we win or something." You said something about that.
We haven't. I don't think have we done either beer or candy?
We did beer.
Are you sure we did beer?
Yes. Because I remember talking about the fat yak from Australia.
We need to keep track of all the Mount Rushmores we do.
With this now, but it's not. If we can't remember what we did, we can do it over again. Who gives a shit? Anyway, let's talk.
Let's talk about the men.
Yes. So, oh boy, this is the standings are not going to be as pretty when I pull up the men's ACC.
The good news is we haven't lost since we last did a show, right?
That is true.
From first to worst.
Well, we're not going to. Fortunately, Louisville stepped up to the plate here, and actually, if they win out and we lose out, they have the tiebreaker. We would be last. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Louisville's not going to win their last 3 games. So,
wait, hold on. Who do they play?
There's no way. It doesn't matter.
Keep in mind Stanford joining the league. Yep. Stanford's got a good women's basketball team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They play Syracuse, Virginia Tech, and Boston College.
Huh. Can we do
Not
it?
So fast.
Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we finish last? I actually think we're gonna
literally from first to worst. If that happens.
No, I actually. So I mean, not to actually. I don't think we're gonna do another show for us. I think we're gonna comfortably beat Boston College actually next week. So there's that.
Are we about to win 7 games in a row?
Of course, 7, man. 13. Nate, I'll see you in Arizona, man.
Oh man.
No, we're not going to win the ACC tournament. But actually, we played.
Jordan Miller thinks we are.
Oh my god. Well, when we played Boston College,
didn't he say get that ACC tournament win? Right?
Yeah,
he might have just meant the first game.
No, he was talking he was talking the whole thing. But no, I mean when we played Boston College last time, I forget how many players we had injured out, but it was more than one. I think Nigel didn't play, right? Was that one Nigel missed? Someone missed that game. We definitely weren't full strength. That was the one where Matthew Cleveland airballed 2 bunnies in the lane at the end, but but I thought we were better than them. They were hitting a bunch of threes they don't normally make, and we were up late and kind of imploded. That's not going to happen at home.
Wasn't that the game that Keyshawn got injured too?
That was Virginia.
Oh, it was Virginia?
Yep. Yeah, let me see who missed
Or was
that
he in
game.
foul trouble or something?
I'm going to see who missed that Boston.
No, that
College.
was Duke.
It's just been a nightmare. It's like, which loss was this? Yeah, Nigel didn't play.
Yeah, Keyshawn fouled out.
Yeah, Keyshawn fouled out. Nigel didn't play. Norchad had 4. Although he played 35 minutes. Yeah, Keyshawn made 5 fouls in 15 minutes. So that's not good. Didn't score either.
Wasn't that the game though that he fouled out without a single foul?
Yes. Yes. No, that was the game. That was the game. Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I think we get him this time, which will eliminate the last place options. But as we look at the tiebreaker, you can see the bunch up there. So Virginia Tech is, could actually get a bye, but they're at worst going to be 10th. So it is really the 11 to 15, which is of particular interest to Matt and I, as we need to know what time we're going to have to go watch this team play in a couple of weeks. And
I might destroy my other ankle before then.
So
Self-sabotage.
So right now, if it was locked into, the Canes would be the 14th seed and play Notre Dame as the 11th seed in the first game. Now, when you look at the schedules of the other teams, which we'll step through in a minute, they're not actually just doing now. So this is so Notre Dame's schedule is brutal.
And we've beat Notre Dame twice.
Yeah, so if they lose one of these games, and then they end up tied with us, and the tiebreaker obviously goes to us in that instance. So Matt, do you know? I don't know if you still have the tiebreakers up. If it's like a multi-team, ties a cumulative head-to-head.
So, so when comparing records against a single team or group of teams, the higher winning percentage shall prevail. So you take the combined record against all the teams that are involved in the tiebreaker, I believe.
So interestingly enough, just looking at Notre Dame's thing here, they obviously lost to us twice. They lost to Boston College twice. They beat Georgia Tech twice. This is going to be a convoluted tiebreaker at the end of this, I feel.
Pretty much, it's just the shitty teams beating up on each other.
This is Georgia Tech's schedule. They're currently tied with us at Wake, at Virginia, and then obviously we play Boston College and they have Louisville to finish. So looking
we have Boston College and Florida State.
And at Florida State. So looking at our anything from 11 to 14 is possible here. And it might come down to who's tied with who. Because I guess, did Boston College beat, now that we know what the tiebreaker, did they beat, I guess Clemson's the best team we've beat. Who did BC beat? No one good, which includes us, of course. But okay, so we would have the tiebreaker if we beat BC. We'd have it on them if it just ends up a 2-team. And if it ends up a 3-team with Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame gets eliminated, and then we would have it on the next one.
We just need to beat Boston College.
It ends up a 4-team with Georgia Tech in there. They did beat Georgia Tech, and we lost. So actually, if it's a 3-team tie with us, BC, and Georgia Tech, I think we finished last in that because they do BC would get it because they beat Georgia Tech and split with us. And then, so they finish first and they revert back to head again. And we fucking didn't show up for that damn game. Anyway, nice job not playing defense, you morons. So Matt, just for your, let's look at this. So the timings. I kind of would rather finish 14th than 12th. I don't need that 2 p.m. tip off.
What do you think,
So if we're the 14th seed, we would play at 7?
Yeah, and more importantly for me in particular, but also for you, because you guys want to do the tour stuff. Like if we win, obviously we want to win games, right? Hopefully. If we don't, then it's a moot point. But then you start getting into when there's 4 games, like the game 3 team ends up being the night game. This one, unfortunately, we can't get into because the 7 is like the ideal. But we get these 9:30 games. But if you end up in this one,
We play at noon.
Yeah,
Oh,
you start.
gosh.
We get the 2:30 the next day, and then you do as Melissa said, you fall into the noon slot after that.
So we either need to win out or
All right, no, you don't fall into the noon slot. You're still at 2:30. Yeah, so we cannot. I mean, 11 or 14 is better for us, not just in terms. Okay, look, I just want to say this so no one gets carried away. We're not going to win the ACC tournament. However, if you get that 11-14, you do then, you get then the 7 in the is that right?
it would be the 7th seed right now.
No, it would be sorry, it's not the 7. You get it's the game 3 winner. It's the 6th seed. But then you get the bigger thing here is you then get the 3 seed. So you don't hit, the Duke or Carolina until the semis. If you're in the 5, if you're in this path where you're the 12-13, you then start you get the 5 seed and then you get the 1 seed. So the quarters versus the semis. So right now, to answer your question, there's your standings. So right now, if we hit the 6 seed, it would be Syracuse. Who I'll take playing Syracuse right now. But even actually, if you look again, God, this is going to sound so stupid because we're awful and we've lost 7 games in a row. None of this bothers me other than the top 2. The other ones, I'm like, we can beat them. In a one-off? Yeah, so we're going to beat all of them in a row? No. We showed no ability to do any of that. But Duke or Carolina with multiple days extra rest is not going to happen. Although maybe we can.
Virginia's just weird. They're the most.
Yeah, they're weird. They could kill us, or they could just score 20 points and we could win. That's and we beat Clemson. We lost at Wake Forest in overtime without Woga. We lost to Syracuse at the buzzer on the road without Norchad. We beat Pitt. These are doable in terms of the second game, even, and then. That's where you want to be set up to not have to play Duke or Carolina in the quarters. And you want so that getting to that 11, in addition to allowing us to play at night, also does open up a much better path because you avoid the 1 seed or the 2 seed until the semis. Because your quarterfinal is the 3
I'll
seed.
take that 9:30 p.m. game. What was that, the second or third day? Third day?
That would be the second day. So if we're in this slot, it is 7 p.m. and then 9:30,
and
then 9:30 again.
Yep.
And then 9:30 again.
Yep.
And then 8:30.
Yep.
And this is the day that we fly Melissa in to watch us cut the nets soon.
For a day.
If we win 4 fucking games in a row, including beating Duke or Carolina.
I gotta take an early flight out the next morning to make it to work.
I'm flying you in.
I gotta get an early flight out the next day to go to work.
I'll take care of that. We'll handle it. We'll fucking party tonight, and I'll drop you at the airport.
I won't hold my breath that this is gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen. That's why
you have
to do it. If we again, this would be 4. We've won 6 games in total this ACC season. If we win 4 in a row, including multiple upsets against teams going to the tournament, which is what that'll take, yeah, you got to come in then. Then you got to fly in. You just have to show up to the airport. I'll make the arrangements. Show up to the airport.
You'd be like, here's your ticket.
Yes.
Here's my couch you can sleep on. Here's your flight for tomorrow morning.
Yes, okay. I will take care
of
everything.
It'll be 24 hours of madness.
Yeah, no, I'll take care of everything.
That's what it is, March Madness. Let's go.
I mean, we got. If we're actually, this is not gonna. We've been talking about this, but if we get to here, it is happening, man.
It's more likely that you would fly me out for the women, going far in the ACC tournament.
I mean, if the women make it to the weekend, maybe I will go to Greensboro.
It'd be more likely that Burger King actually flame broils their burgers.
Look, man.
Anything.
There are grill marks. There are grill marks on that burger.
Yeah, they paint them on.
Are we
I'm sure there's some kind of factory that it technically goes across a flame. That's how all these things are mass produced. We're not yet. We haven't really even talked about basketball. So,
I know
we
you,
got-
you guys, the two of you literally spent 20 minutes doing math.
look, man, you do a show with an Indian, there's going to be math. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
She brought out the beach ball.
She can have the beach ball. Let's talk about the Boston College game on Wednesday. So, what do you guys? We talked about this a little bit on the last show, but what do you guys want to see in that game? I don't think because my assumption
fucking
is
win.
all right. Okay, I'm assuming what's the next bucket? That's probably Wednesday, right? Well, maybe
I would like to see everybody playing.
from a rotate. Okay, let's assume everyone's fit and able to there's no minute restrictions. What? It's been a long time since we've actually had that. What is your rotation though?
Bensley off the bench with our 5 starters and limited minutes for Nwoko just because if you have to spell Norchad or just go the 5-guard lineup.
So
Everyone else can stay on the bench.
I kind of feel like Bensley's been our best player over the last several games. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying like the 6 starters, which includes Bensley, and
Not
you
sure if I'm
well-
benching Bensley instead of Keyshawn.
no, Bensley's been the on the bench. I don't know if L changes it, but those 6 are playing obviously, and then you give limited minutes to Nwoko just to spell Norchad. Hopefully he doesn't get in foul trouble, and hopefully we don't see much of anybody else.
Wait, this is the thing that's happening? Did you know this? You must have known this.
No, I did not know he was moving to Rochester in April. Why are you moving to Rochester?
Okay, you guys can talk offline. Anyway, I don't think we need to... We're dumbasses that talk about our personal life on a stream. Nate does not have to do that. He can
brought it up.
I know, but he can have a side conversation with you as his friend for like the last 15 years without having to.
Nate, text me. Why are you moving to Rochester?
Yeah, exactly. That's more. You don't have to do it on the air with us. Anyway, yeah. So I actually think I would start Bensley and bring Keyshawn off the bench. I think Bensley's earned the right to stay in that lineup, and I'm not bringing Nigel off the bench because I think Nigel's the best player on this team. So.
I think Norchad's the best player on this team.
I think Norchad's the most important player.
Mm-hmm.
Norchad's been the most consistent player. Hence why I think he's the best player on this team.
Matt's just like making noises and not weighing in on this.
No, I just don't really think it matters who starts. I think it's going to be a short lineup now that hopefully everyone is healthy. I think Bensley ends up playing like the same amount of minutes anyways.
I just like him out at the start to steady the team a little bit. Keyshawn can be a little bit of a wild card, to put it nicely. And I think I'd rather have Bensley starting. But we'll see on Wednesday, which is I'm assuming. Are you off Wednesday? I don't have your schedule in front of me.
I'm not.
You off? When are you off next week for buckets?
Thursday.
All right, so there'll be Thursday buckets. Oh, that's
I don't know about Thursday. I'll let you know.
I thought we were doing women's victory post game. What the hell?
I forgot. I might have something that I have to do with my mom.
Okay, well, we will see. There will be some buckets next week. At some point, we will make some buckets.
You can do a post game victory buckets with Matt.
Well, maybe we'll do something Wednesday after the BC game, since you won't. And then Thursday, if you're able, we can do women's. We'll figure it out. Anyway, there will be some buckets.
Late night buckets on Saturday night, next Saturday. We can break down all of the tournament stuff.
Well, if the women are still playing, maybe I will go to Greensboro. My friend lives in Winston-Salem. I can just show up.
Wait, are we gonna do a buckets while the two of you are in DC? Like both you and Matt?
I think we're doing, as long as we keep winning, I think we're gonna do nightly buckets. Hell, we're at the freaking tournament.
Are you guys gonna sit in front of the same camera, or is Matt gonna be in a separate room, streaming from his laptop?
No, I'll probably just set up something in the living room with a stand and just have us on camera there. I'll put it on the TV.
Monica will make an appearance.
And my face to the side.
We'll figure that out.
I'm on it.
We can figure it out. We can use multi.
You brought me on while I've been at work. Crazier things have happened.
No, but I think we're gonna do nightly. As long as by night, I mean Tuesday night, and that's probably it. But if we keep winning, I mean, how are we not going to do shows when Matt and I are at the tournament? No show tonight. The hell we do it out there then? So yeah, no, we'll do every time the Canes play, there will be a show. That 9:30 is going to be rough though. That's like 1
You guys are
a.m.
going to be doing buckets at like midnight.
Yeah,
midnight
we're gonna
buckets
get
is a
that
thing.
T-bell, and then we're gonna.
Matt, welcome to real people time.
Yeah, midnight buckets is actually going to be midnight for Matt for once.
Oh gosh.
Although he's not going to adjust to like the time difference.
You should get the Chinese food from the place we ordered from.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we do. No halal, guys, though.
You can have the vegetable lo mein with the broccoli.
She ate all the broccoli out of it. It's like
all the broccoli.
I eat all the good stuff and just.
It's like I left some vegetable lo mein for you, but there's no broccoli left because I ate it all.
I mean, it was her order. She can eat whatever she wants out there.
If we ever do a Mount Rushmore of vegetables.
I mean, it would be good for a healthy change for the normal crap.
That's probably a good idea.
Mount Rushmore of hard drugs we like to use. I'm going cocaine.
Mount Rushmore favorite Chinese food dishes would be a good one.
Yeah, there's stuff we can do. Like I said, we're not going to run out. Okay, so yeah, we'll know more. I'm pretty sure the women are playing North Carolina, but we'll know for sure tomorrow. And the men, really at this point, anywhere from the 11 to the 14 seed. 11 definitely being ideal in terms of me not having to use 4 vacation days. Well, I mean, that'd be a good thing if we keep winning. But I definitely took Tuesday off anyway. Matt will be there. We'll do something. But
I'm sad and jealous you guys are going to be hanging out without me.
You'll be there on Saturday.
Yeah, you're coming.
Matt's going to be in Miami over the summer, and then me and Vish are planning to go to the Cal game for football. So we'll see Matt in Cali.
We should coordinate that. We know the game day. So.
And then if the men are playing at Stanford and at Cal, hopefully those games are like back to back.
So the commissioner, I mean, he's a dumbass, so it might not actually happen, was talking about combining.
You won't have to travel to California.
Well,
twice.
no, yeah, so combining those, but also his idea was, which didn't make any sense because I think he needs to read a map or maybe get his head out of his North Carolina ass. But he was saying like, oh, and one way to save money is to share travel. So like, Miami and Florida State would travel out there together. I'm like, we're stopping in Tallahassee. What are you talking about? Because this is a typical ACC thing. Their heads are so far up their Tobacco Road ass that they don't realize that the rest of the conference is spread out, and they're not like North Carolina and Duke where they're 9 miles apart. Florida State and Miami are technically in the same state.
It's like
there's no way to combine travel. However, maybe one of them won't be a dumbass and realize, hey, the women are also playing at Cal and at Stanford. Maybe have the men and women out there at the same time.
Yes. 4 games in a week. I would take vacation for that.
No, we definitely have to do that. But if that happens,
that would be amazing.
That comes to fruition. We're just going.
But wait, my California geography is not good. How far away is Cal and Stanford from
They're both
each
in the
other?
Bay Area.
They're about like, because I did the drive from my aunt's house. She lives right next to Stanford. Like literally, it's like a 2-minute drive. It's like an hour and like 10-15 minutes.
We have to go to this Chinese food place in San Francisco that I went to when I was there. It was like the best Chinese food I've ever had, but it's like super traditional. So they only put like chopsticks on the table, and my 3 guy friends asked for utensils, and I was very embarrassed.
That's embarrassing.
So they brought 4, and I was like, no, I don't need that. I was like, I know how to use chopsticks. I'm like, my friends aren't cultured. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Disappointing.
Just threw them right under the bus.
I was like, you guys make us look like tourists. You don't know how to use chopsticks? Come on.
You were a tourist. You were in San Francisco.
Not that hard.
It's not that hard to use chopsticks. I figured it out when I was like 7.
I figured it out sitting at a meal with a bunch of Koreans in a Korean place that no one was speaking English in. I'm like, well, I'm not going to ask for a fork here. So,
do we still have a sponsor?
We do ish.
Ish.
Yeah, we can do it.
The states that aren't Florida.
Yeah, technically it's March now. Yes, that's the. So, but there's still a sponsor. So The sponsor of 5 Reasons Sports, 5 Reasons Games, and Buckets is Prize Picks. If you go to prizepicks.com, sign up for a new account, enter the offer code 5. That is the number 5 spelled out, FIVE, and deposit up to 100. Prizepicks.com and 5 Reasons Sports will match your first deposit up to $100. Really, Melissa? I'm working over here. those $5 to $10 that will eventually show up in your bank account is because of this.
Are we getting the payout?
We should be, and we'll talk later. No, but Prize Picks. So for those that are aware, there's been some changes to the Florida state law in terms of what is and isn't allowed. However, Prize Picks is rolling out new games that are compliant. So definitely stick with them.
Use your DC address, Vish?
To do what? It's geolocated. Geolocated.
Oh, is it? Damn.
Yeah.
Vish can place a bet for me from his phone.
That I can do after tomorrow when I'm back there.
Yes.
But also, there's a casino.
I don't sports bet.
for those heading to the ACC tournament, there is a casino basically in the arena, so you can place it in a sports book. Actually, not a casino. It's a sports
I've
book.
been outside of that arena. We walked past that.
Yes, we went into the sports book. That's what we ate.
Yeah,
or drank.
We were looking for a bar to go chill and watch sports and have a beer.
That was the last drink before the season imploded. But anyway, the next day was 8 hours in the car and 2 hours of really bad basketball. All right, so
a half an hour of really good deli.
It was good deli, good playlist,
and then really good Chinese food and a Cowboys win.
Yeah, the day was. Well, I mean, if we knew the basketball team, that was a harbinger. But anyway, PrizePicks.com over code 5 FIVE.
Time for Mount Rushmore because the women won.
I think we abandoned that anyway because we started doing them anyway.
Well, I was sick of doing Mount Rushmore.
At one point, the men had lost 7 in a row, which they still have, and the women had lost 3 in a row. And I'm like, we gotta just stop doing Mount Rushmores. But yeah, we have a legitimately earned Mount Rushmore.
If you've tuned in late and you're wondering what are those really good-looking hoodies that all 3 of the Amazing Buckets co-hosts are wearing, these are awesome Adidas Climalite hoodies that we got from the team store.
Who wants to do the swivel and show the back? The back is awesome.
Can you see it?
Yes, you can. You can see Go Ca, but everyone, I'm
assuming. Go California.
There it is. Go Canes.
Oh, I should have put the hoodie cam on. Wait a minute.
No boy.
Hold on.
Giving Melissa technology was my fault. Everyone, I apologize. There, the hoodie cam is on.
Is that better?
It's actually kind of worse.
Yeah, stand up.
You got to stand up to get it.
The camera has moved.
No, it's in full view. It's just that your back is cut off because you're not like high enough. Yeah, no, there you go. Yeah, that's the best shot we've got. Yep. Yeah, no, it might have moved a little bit, but not so it's out. You can see your whole background and everything. You're
Yeah, and my unmade bed.
That we saw as well.
Listen, Vish sees a little space that I have to work with.
So there's a lot more room in her bedroom than.
Well, as far as
there's nowhere. Yeah, unless you want to like have a desk floating in the middle of the room blocking.
Yeah, like it's just like I have the bed against the wall, and then I have my dresser against the other wall and a TV. So like the only space, unless I have the desk in the middle of the room, was to put it here.
Yeah, no,
so
it's a good use of space.
Like yeah.
She's got everything kind of organized, but there's still like room in the room. It's not like cluttered.
I have like a pile of hoodies.
Plethora of hoodies.
No, they're literally a pile of them on my chair because I wear them for pods. So like they just sit there. Like I wear them, I wash them, and then I hang them up, and then I wear them again, and they just sit in a pile. So, should I put the hood on?
What are we doing the hoods?
I'm not going to. You know, I actually blow dried my hair, so we'll leave it be. So tonight's Mount Rushmore is favorite NBA players of all time. And it's not like the best NBA players of all time. It's our personal favorite 4 NBA players of all time. So, and I say NBA players because we had said basketball players, but I made the stipulation that they had to have played in the NBA, so that eliminates Kenny Kaji.
So if Kenny Kaji had like gotten a 10-day, he'd be on your list.
Probably because I also shout out to the team store because Jeremy messaged me and was like, "Hey, we have a Heat press now, so I can take that jersey back there and they'll put the numbers on for me."
Sometimes procrastination pays off.
I know it's I haven't had a chance to do it. So
technically, Kenny Kaji did have a contract in the NBA. It's just he didn't play a game.
Yeah, it doesn't count. It's fine.
Yeah.
I
don't know that I would. I haven't fully fleshed my list out. I'm gonna wing it, but I don't know that for me at least, like, and that's not a rule or anything. Obviously, pick whoever you want. It would have to be someone I identify with them having an NBA career or what I would consider them like favorite all-time NBA players. So like getting a cup of coffee in the league.
Like Kenny Kaji is
really
obviously my favorite Canes player of all time, but like even if he had played like a season in the NBA, like there wasn't a lot. So he'll have to be fine with just being my favorite Canes player. Not like he knows who I am or knows the show exists, but
we don't even know where he is. All the other ones who could like Matt's got guys who got guys and he can get guys on here, but we can't find Kenny Kaji.
I gotta find another favorite. I will say Trey McKinney-Jones was another one of my favorites, even though it was the same season, mainly because he was a 3-point shooter and wore number 4.
I was about to say he wore number 4. That was it. He's wearing the number.
So yeah, but
that's why you remember Keith Stone. That makes more sense.
Oh my god!
Every time Vish calls me, Keith Stone pops up on my phone because it's his contact photo. Matt's is Malcolm Grant.
There we go.
He chose Malcolm Grant though, so he wanted to rep. We need to get Malcolm on the show. That'll be a good off-season show.
We have had Malcolm on the show for
like a minute. For like a minute.
But like he has to do like the Mount Rushmores with us. That dude is so funny.
I think it'd be cool to do like a Canes basketball player roundtable and get a few guys on the show at once.
Yeah,
and like,
it's just tough.
And just have them start chatting.
Look, we can.
Matt has a lot of guys.
Yeah, we can do all that after we win the ACC tournament in a week. So.
Okay, Mount Rushmore of favorite NBA players. Who wants to go first?
Why don't you go?
I went first. Did I go first?
I go first all the time.
I went second last time.
No, you went first. I went second. She went third. That's why I said. But if you want, I can go. I don't.
No, I'll go first. It's fine. My obvious. I mean, I've talked about it before. My favorite player of all time is.
That's a good one.
Penny Hardaway.
That's a good one.
My guy, favorite player of all time. Even pulled out his jersey just to rep my guy. He's the first basketball player I remember watching.
Is it are you going next, Matt, or is it me?
You go, Vish. I'll go last.
Okay. Michael Finley.
Oh.
So
I'm gonna
for context on that one, just a little explainer. So
wasn't he number 4 too?
He was number 4, yes.
Yeah.
For those that are unaware, the Mavericks were voted like the worst franchise in sports in the 90s, right before Mark Cuban bought them. And Michael Finley was like there was that brief year where Jim Jackson, Jason Kidd, and Jamal Mashburn were there before two of them tried to date Tony Braxton at the same time and it fell apart. That's a true story. And Finley was like the first kind of acquisition. I was like, this guy's an actual basketball player. And then he was there when they got good and made the conference finals and stuff. He still works for the Mavs. He was my first one. It was like the first, because I don't really remember those 80s teams when the Mavericks were actually pretty good when they had like Derek Harper and stuff. But he was like the first time I was like, the Mavericks have an actual basketball player. That was Michael Finley. So that's why he's on my list.
All right, Matt.
I have 2 current guys and 2 former. Actually, I have a list of 5, but I haven't cut it down yet. So I'm still
all of my guys are former. I didn't pick anybody current.
Is Matt allowed to have a Siamese twin for the 5th head?
You got to narrow it down, Matt.
You can tell us. You can tell us who the 5th is anyway.
Yeah, I'll tell you who the 5th is. but I'm gonna go with a current player that plays for Vish's team, and that's Luca. One of my favorite players to watch right now. Well, actually, no, my favorite player to watch right now. Most skilled player in the NBA right now, in my opinion. One of the best offensive. I think he's going to go down as the best offensive player in the history of the game. Just super talented, super skilled. Yeah, that's my first one.
I mean, you can't argue with that brilliant logic. I mean, it's just a perfect answer. I don't know what that is.
My second one is
By the way,
obviously-
before Melissa answers, just because this is about to end, so I have to call this out. 2 out of 3 are Mavericks.
Well,
I
I
had
mean,
to get it in there. I had to
I
get it in
think-
there before you brought up someone else. I was gonna.
I think you all knew I was gonna say Penny because I've
Oh, yeah,
only
no,
talked about him a million
Yeah, no,
times.
that's an awesome answer. He's definitely.
I literally for my bat mitzvah theme was basketball, and so like my theme pictures were me playing basketball in my Penny Hardaway
But
jersey.
if people don't know,
I've had this jersey forever.
If people
I need to wear
don't-
I'm gonna wear my Penny Hardaway shirt like next time we do a show, and you can wear your jersey.
Gotcha. Let me know.
If people don't know how good Penny Hardaway was before he got injured, like you don't.
I
realize.
wish I need to find. I want to find the old
Plus, he
school
was in
like,
blue
pin-
chips.
I want to find the
Yeah.
old school pinstripe Orlando Magic jerseys, but get a Penny
Mhm.
Hardaway one. I need to find one.
That blue chips is hilarious. It's him, Shaq, and Matt Nover.
Matt, you know the jerseys I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. Which color though?
Any color, honestly.
Because there's I like the black ones.
The black one's pretty sick, but I need to find an old school one. So
Yeah.
I will. I wasn't gonna name him second, but I'm going to now because Vish is bragging about the Mavs, and I obviously have to go with.
It wasn't
Mr.
a serious.
I have to go with Mr. Wade County himself, Dwayne Wade. I wouldn't be a proper Miami Heat fan if I did not say Dwayne Wade, because I mean, obviously, number 3 should have
Best
never
basketball
left to
season
go to
planet.
Chicago. Pat Riley, too stubborn, hated it. When he got traded back and I got that alert one afternoon, I was so excited. He deserved to retire as a Miami Heat. Wade County, Dwayne Wade, the man. He's my number 2.
So I'm gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna pick another Maverick because I don't just want to load up on them. So I'm gonna go with Shaquille O'Neal. And the reason is kind of a little explainer on this one. So this is like early 2000s. Like once he went to the Lakers, and everyone and they still do this today. No one would admit he was good. It was always he's dominant, he's big. I'm like, have you seen his footwork?
Yeah.
Like this man is he's big, but he's so skilled, and everyone try to like
he's got a championship with Miami.
And everyone are going to talk about that series. But everyone would try to like minimize how talented he was. But he's big. Like you think other big guys could move like that with the footwork and the hook shot, and like everyone watches his dunking highlights. The man in the low post could turn around and hit a hook shot at any time, and it would go in. He was an elite defender.
And how quick he was with the spin move, too, for how big he was.
His footwork was ridiculous. He could handle the rock. He was an elite defender. And I feel like he's the most underrated player in NBA history because no one's like, he's just a big guy. You know how many big guys have tried to play basketball? That doesn't work. He is a freak of nature, and I think he's completely underrated. Even though everyone, no one will have a top 50 player in NBA history without him on the list, or even like a top 20. But there's always like, it's
because he's big.
Yeah, it's because he's big. It's not because he's big. It's because he's ridiculously talented.
Yep.
And I love it. So when he started getting those hook shots falling, man, never seen anything like that. Just like he can't do anything. Vlade would just fall over, try to draw a flopping charge. Anyway,
Matt,
which Maverick are you picking now? No, I'm just kidding. I paid you back though. You picked a Maverick, so I gave you a Laker.
Trying to think who I want to go with next. Okay. I'll go with one that might surprise you guys. I was obsessed with this guy years back when he was with another team. And that's Paul George. when he was with the Pacers. He was one of my favorite players to watch. Highly
Before
skilled
broken
guy.
leg,
for
Paul
size.
George.
What was that?
Before he broke his leg. Paul George before he broke his
He
leg.
was, oh my God, the athleticism, the shot making and whatnot. Those playoff series against like LeBron when LeBron was on the Cavs, and I think he was on the Heat for one of them. I can't remember, but those were some of my favorite playoff series to watch. Paul George was absolute dog. He's still a great player, but yeah, he was one of my favorite guys to watch.
My third guy was another point guard back in the day that I absolutely loved to watch. When I watched him, he was on the Kings. Mike Bibby.
I knew you were gonna say it.
As a
Right
huge
there.
Mike Bibby fan growing up.
I was a big fan of his performance in the 2011 NBA Finals. You threw Dwayne Wade out there and talked about Shaq winning a title. I had to pay it back.
Penny, D Wade, Mike Bibby. That's my three so far.
So why Mike Bibby? Like what about?
I was always a fan of him growing up. I kind of just followed guards. You know, there was Penny and then there was Mike Bibby. I don't know. I really enjoyed watching the Kings.
I enjoyed watching Shaq beat the shit out of them. All right, so next one for this is cliche, but someone's got to do it. Michael Jordan. I'm actually old enough to like be young when he was like the guy. Like that was like the first because like I wasn't old. I'm like I was aware, like I was alive most of the age, but like when you're 3 years old, you don't know. Like I was kind of aware of the Lakers and Celtics, sort of, but wasn't watching. MJ's like the first actual, like when I actually like have recognition of basketball. Like I remember watching because back then like these watching these shitty TVs with my brother, and we hated the Jazz and playing in the finals. It's like. And when he hits that, totally didn't push off and hit that shot over Brian Russell. Yeah, those are moments you're on. And so like he was the first kind of because again I'm not old enough to remember like the height of the Lakers Celtics rivalry, but I am old enough to remember MJ when he had taken the league over and it was like gave you something to believe in. That man delivered. It's like it's some consistency.
Matt's got Doncic and George. Who's next?
So this is a former player. I feel like you guys are going to think I'm trolling you, but this is a guy that I would watch him play, and it was when I was in like high school, college, and I watched him a lot to like just to see how to become a better shooter, how to find open spaces on the floor. He's one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. He's the reason why I'm number 26 on my men's league team. Kyle Korver.
I thought that's where you was going when you started talking.
I remember he was in the 3-point contest. I think it was either his rookie year or his second year because it was when they did the rookie sophomore game. Do you remember that's what they used to call it? And he was in the 3-point contest when he was with the Sixers. And AI was like in the crowd, like cheering him on, and he just stepped out, and he had like the hair that was like super long, and it kind of like curled on the sides. But yeah, also, fun fact: he was once traded for a copy machine. That was it was a player, and then it was a copy machine too, or it was cash that they used for a copy machine, or something. So something super random.
You never know what happens to those cash considerations.
In terms of like shooters that like find open space, find good angles on the floor. He was one of the best at it, and I took a lot from his game and whatnot. So he would be my third.
That's why this list is so good because it's not necessarily the best. It's like your favorite, and there's like personal.
I know someone came on and heard me talking about Mike Bibby. They're probably like,
yeah, no, that's why it's a cool list. It's like it's personal, right? It's like, oh, I remember when he did this.
I even pulled out the jersey of my favorite player.
That's why this was a really good show topic, Melissa.
I did come up with this one, didn't I?
That's why I just gave you credit for it.
My fourth is kind of the reason why I love the stretch big, the stretch 4.
I was waiting for it. I was like, are you really not going to have a stretch 4? Thank God. I almost lost faith in humanity.
It was actually a player that I had hoped the Heat had drafted. Obviously, we drafted Dwayne Wade, and that worked out really well. But he was always my favorite of the big 3 in Miami during that time. My boy Chris Bosh. When the big three got together, I immediately bought a Chris Bosh merch. I was super excited because he can shoot the 3. He's a big, and that was kind of my first like, oh, I love the stretch 4, stretch big situation.
So you went away from that, and then a few years later it was Kenny Kaji. So you just kind of had a through line there.
Can we just say too, like Chris Bosh was so underrated, especially
he was so underrated, and it like breaks my heart because he was gonna be such a big piece of that team after LeBron left, and then he dealt with blood clots and everything.
He was putting up numbers though after LeBron left too.
Yeah.
He was on a tear.
I have a fun fact about that off air.
Oh.
About Chris Bosh, so.
Off air.
Yeah.
Wow. Buckets after dark. All right. God, who's my 4th gonna be? I said I wouldn't pick another Maverick, so I'll throw an honorable mention at the end because there's someone else I'd probably put on here. But who do I want to put in here? I had a feeling that's what it was, Melissa. But anyway, good to confirm it. Who do I want to put in here?
So just for recap, my 4: Penny Hardaway, Dwayne Wade, Mike Bibby, and Chris Bosh.
That's why Melissa's a great co-host. She's like, this dumbass needs time to think. Oh, I know who I'm going with. Sean Kemp.
Oh yeah. I was surprised you didn't mention him yet. I thought of that. That's a good
one.
I kind of spaced on him just because the Sonics tragically don't exist anymore. Man.
Their jerseys were sick.
And he was sick. Like, that was like, man, you would watch, like, you would stay up. Like, this is before there was, like, League Pass, obviously. So, like, but because there weren't that many West Coast games, like, when they would do those double headers, the Sonics were on quite a bit on national TV. And you would just watch the game just for Sean Kemp. Because that man would, like, put on a show. And just above the rim. And then, the lockout happened. And he didn't work out and ate instead. And that was even Sean Kemp. But,
so Vicious 4, Michael Finley, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, and Sean Kemp. It's a good list.
Well, I saved my best for last.
I think
so you got Luka, Paul George, Kyle Korver, and
Kobe Bryant. I think
Mamba.
we all knew where this is going. Reason why I started watching and playing basketball. One of the greatest of all time. Rest in peace. He was, the how big he was in Southern California and LA, obviously, all over for basketball fans, but he was huge. He was a huge part. Random story. I don't remember if I told you guys this. This was like back in 2007, 2006. So right when he was like on the really bad teams with like Smush Parker and stuff like that, when he was putting up
Scoochie Smith?
No, not Scoochie Smith.
He's not in your top 4?
When he was putting up huge numbers.
Scoochie Smith is ineligible for NBA grade. Let me put it that way. Go ahead.
He had like a month or 2 period where he was like averaging like 50 points a game or something like that. Like he was just going off. But in the off season, it was after that season, I was at my dad's high school reunion with him, with my friends, and we just see this like tall figure running down the beach. And we just saw people like following him, like running after him, and we realized it was Kobe. And so there was just like a wave of people behind him, like trying to take selfies with him and whatnot. It was like almost out of a movie. It was really crazy. But yeah, so he's definitely, my number 1, whatnot. Should I say my honorary mention one?
Do we all want to do an honorary mention?
I have one too, but just real quick, Matt. I'm assuming you've seen like the Dream Team 2
or
whatever documentary, and like the Kobe stories that are legendary. Everyone
Yeah.
else was partying, and he coming back
love-
from the club, and he's going to the gym, and he hits him
At
on the
like
way
3 in
out.
the morning.
Yeah, he's going to
Well,
work out 4 in the morning. They're all going to they're coming back from the club, and Kobe's like in the
Yeah.
elevator coming down because he's going to the gym, and they're like,
Well, and all those guys too, like Melo had talked about, like he had his best individual season after that because of all of the work they put in. Dwayne Wade said something similar as well. And then I even remember like someone like Caron Butler the year after he got traded. Was he on the Mavericks after the Lakers?
he was on the Mavericks, but I think was it after it was this. Karan came over and
It was whatever, or maybe no, he was on the Wizards. I
he
think
came from the Wizards to Mavericks.
Okay, so he made an all-star team, and it was the first time he had made it, and it was, he was like, oh, Kobe really showed me how to prep and whatnot. And when you look at guys that put in work in terms of preparation and training and whatnot, like he was one of the guys that put in the most work. So gotta respect
Fun
that.
fact: he blew his knee out the year he won the championship, and that's why Sean Marion was starting. He was the starting small forward for most of the year and blew his knee out in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an honorable mention.
I mean, you can go last if you want some thinking time.
Do you want me to go? I already have mine.
Yeah, you can go. I have one too.
So this is just out of pure like fun watching the guy play, and also because I loved using him in 2K. That's why I didn't put him on this list, because it was mainly the 2K thing. But that's Josh Smith, former teammate of Mike Bibby for a little bit on the Hawks. He was like super uber athletic. I think you could say kind of fell in love with the jump shot a little bit too much. So you kind of think of
I cannot believe Josh Smith was the honorable mention.
Dude, Josh Smith was so fun to watch.
Your list includes Kobe.
Yeah.
Luka.
Yeah.
One of the greatest shooters in NBA history.
Paul George.
Paul George.
Colbert,
and then who before his injury was on the ascendant of being a top 25 player of all time, and literally one of the dumbest basketball players ever.
That's why I said it's purely the 2K thing. He was a monster in 2K.
With like no like Lakers ties or anything, just straight up, just like I cannot believe that was. You could have given me 100 guesses. I would not have guessed Josh Smith. Like that is crazy.
Something happened with your mic or something,
yeah,
Vish.
It dropped.
I'm sorry. Your mic literally dropped.
Yeah, no, it did. It's back.
There we go. I'll do my honorable mention. I'm gonna pick a current player. Just I don't have enough time to research more to think. Like the 4 that I have were like obvious for me. So I'm gonna pick a current player, and I'm just gonna pick Jimmy Butler.
There you go.
Because this man deserves a ring before he retires as a Miami Heat. So yeah, I would go grab his jersey, but it's you take a minute. So Jimmy Butler is going to be my honorable mention. So I have 3 Miami Heat on my list.
I went from talking to Kobe to Josh Smith.
I mean, like, how does he? I cannot believe there's no way I would have even I could have named 100.
I prefaced it with the whole 2K thing.
I just can't believe.
Anytime I'd start a dynasty team, I would select Josh Smith or trade for him.
Yes, we know you picked Penny.
Matt appreciates the jersey. My guy. Number 1 in your program and number 1 in your hearts.
So are you gonna cheer for Memphis now? That is Memphis gonna make the tournament this year? I don't even know.
No, I only root for the Canes.
Well, I mean, we're not gonna be anywhere near there. So, yeah, I'm gonna half pay attention to the tournament now that we're not in it. But anyway, my honorable mention is Jason Terry, who so again,
the real jet.
Well, because it's his initials, but I always have a story here. So he was so obviously Steve Nash was on the Mavericks, and his back was all screwed up, and so basically the Mavericks didn't want to max contract him, and the Suns did. So he goes to the Suns, wins MVP, but the Mavericks to replace him, trade for Jason Terry, who in the 2006 Western Conference Finals kicked Steve Nash's ass and carried us to the finals, where he played like complete shit in the last game that we got eliminated in. And then 5 years later was the only guy making shots in game 6 that we won the championship in against the same team. Sorry, Melissa. And so that whole arc of redemption for him is why. Because obviously Dirk is the best player in Mavericks history, and that's an easy answer. But I like the underdog story. And he was always can't handle well enough, too small to play shooting guard, can't handle well enough to play point guard. Everyone always had a problem with Jason Terry until Jason Terry was winning the game 6 of the NBA Finals basically by himself. So that he was very underappreciated.
It's a very no one named two people didn't name the same player. We have 15 different guys.
I mean, I will tell you, number 6 for me was Josh Smith. So.
I knew it. He's just mad I took his pick.
So mad. I was gonna go. I had to come up with something else. Then,
Dude, but like, that's why I left him off. But like, it was purely the 2K thing too. But like, you talk about a dude that had so much potential to be like one of the best in the league, but just
basketball IQ is a thing.
no. But he was a good passer.
He
I don't
was
know
a
if it was
dummy.
IQ, huh?
He was a dummy though. It wasn't that, passing is skill. He was very skilled. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, but it's also
Decision-making.
decision making.
Yeah, that's basketball IQ.
Yeah,
He's
but
not
I
a
mean,
good decision maker. It's not just falling in love with
no,
the three.
passing is decision making as well. Like you have to be physical capable, and then there's also like a mental component of it.
Melissa, where are you on this?
I agree with Matt.
Of course you do.
So you don't even have to look. But I'm saying, no, the dude was so skilled that I mean he made like 1 or 2 all-star teams.
Did he?
I know he made it in when like someone got injured, and maybe it was only 1. I saw him play against your Wizards back in the day.
What the fuck just happened here? My Wizards.
Yeah, your Wizards.
So
back when they had
I have a
Nick
question.
Young and
I got a
McHale.
question for you guys. You already know my answer. So of your list, who is your favorite player if you could only pick one?
Kobe.
Bish?
Finley. Michael Finley.
Finley? So it's interesting. Me and Vish named our favorite first. You waited till last for Kobe.
Yeah, that's why I said save the best for last.
Well, I mean, I picked Penny first. Well, he's my favorite, but you already knew my
Technically, I named Josh Smith last though.
Well, that was honorable mention. But like, you all knew I was gonna say Penny, so I was like, I'm just gonna start with it because wouldn't you have been shocked if I didn't name Penny first?
I don't know if I would have been shocked.
Yeah, I don't know what order. I'd be shocked if there wasn't on the list, and I, for a second, thought there was going to be a stretch 4, which almost made me just kill the stream. And just,
You didn't say
retire.
Devin Booker though. I thought you liked Devin Booker.
I know, but he's kind of becoming a
Yeah.
bitch.
Well, I mean,
So, but I am a big.
There's
I am a
beef
big
with him
Devin
and
Booker
Luca,
fan.
so
Yeah.
But
with
we
him
could
and
only
I
pick
named
4.
his dad, so
We could only pick 4. If we did like a list of current NBA players, he'd probably be on my top 4.
I mean, that might
But
be
like
a future
none of
topic.
none of
that's
my
what we
4
should
are
have done. We
current.
should have done current and former.
That's a future topic. We can do current.
Yeah, well, because my 4 are all former. I didn't do a current except for my honorable mention.
Well, I
Matt
did 2
did a
current.
couple, but we can reuse. We can do current.
We can do current.
There's more meat on that bone.
I think
Josh Smith is still playing overseas. Could I name him as current?
no, he has to be in the NBA playing right now.
But also,
But I need
feel
more
like-
time to think about that because that's a little
well,
bit.
we're not gonna do it right now.
Yeah, I know. Maybe the next buckets. Also, I just realized I need to do laundry because I have to have scrubs for tomorrow, and I just realized that I didn't do laundry the other day, like as we were talking. So I'm gonna go do laundry at like 11:30 at night.
I believe that was a sign to us, Matt, that this show is.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Well-
I literally just realized I have to do laundry. We don't have to get off yet. It's fine. It's not midnight.
These signs are already up, so
Are Are you ready to go already?
Wait. Melissa just said it doesn't have to end. Why are you ending it?
Oh,
She said she has to get off before midnight, so we got 25 minutes more crap to talk about here.
I could go throw the laundry in 3 seconds, and we can go on for whatever.
Do you want to? All right, this is gonna be too hard to do a Mount Trashmore of NBA players.
Amount
No.
Trashmore of NBA players.
is this just guys we hate? Just
Yeah.
straight up?
Dwayne Dedman. Cody
Okay,
Zeller.
well, go.
Wait, no,
go.
Dwayne Dedman's not in the NBA. He's in the G League.
That's true. Cody Zeller.
Wait, we're not talking about current player. Dwayne Dedman was definitely in the NBA.
Yeah.
No, I thought we were talking about current.
No, it's what we can do either one.
I'm just naming Heat players that I was
You want to
really
do
not
it?
about the Heat.
You want to do an impromptu Mount Trashmore of current NBA players?
No, I need more time to think about it.
All right.
But our next one's gonna be a Rushmore of our favorite current NBA players,
I
which
could
we
probably
already
list
know.
off
a bunch
some.
of Matt's.
Which players you hate? Troy Murphy.
Troy Murphy's a goat. He was like number 8
Dickhead.
on my Rushmore of favorites.
God,
Wait,
fuck that guy.
are,
You weren't
wait,
there,
when we
man.
do when we do the ones we hate, does it have to be current or they can be anytime?
We can do both, just like we're gonna do with Rushmore.
Because Paul George will be on my top of my.
Whoa, we're gonna be.
No, not Paul George. I'm sorry, Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce.
Oh,
Sorry,
Oh,
I'm reading
yeah.
the list.
I was
I'm
gonna say
reading the list.
like Paul Pierce, Paul George is now you have me mixing up. Paul George is like the least offensive human being.
No, not Paul George. So, no, because I've been writing down our lists. So
Yeah,
I was looking at the list when I said it, but I meant Paul Pierce. Because Paul Pierce,
Grayson
any
Allen's on
Heat
my
fan
list. Fuck
hates
that
Paul
guy.
Pierce because he's a little shit and talks so much crap about the Heat, and he's just pissed that all he could get was one championship when he had a big 3. And he shit his pants, and everyone makes fun of him for faking a knee injury because he had to poop.
I mean, mine's just gonna be Utah Jazz players from John Stockton
Andre-
and Carmelo going in.
Karolenko, Mehmet Okur.
Enes Kanter, definitely. for off the court stuff. If you're not
Trying to
familiar
think,
with
who
with Enes Freedom, you should Google it. Dumbass. Definitely Stockton and Malone. I hated those. That's why I think that's also like why I like Michael Jordan so much because he punked those. Fuckers.
Also, can I just say we should get these engraved with buckets written on the front because there's so much
I
space.
think that's a good idea.
That would look really
You
cool.
do- I mean, it would be screen printed. Do you get the logo screen printed?
Dylan Brooks. I fucking hate Dylan. He's so annoying.
Yes.
He's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of yeah.
I mean, if we do this next year, Filipowski. Immediately, he shakes the commissioner's hand. He goes right to the top.
I would say PJ Hall, but he's gonna be playing in Croatia or something.
And
so.
that's not. He's not going to meet the NBA requirement. Neither will his mom.
Hi, PJ Hall's mom.
Yeah, good win tonight. Oh wait, you lost. Sorry.
If he gets drafted by the U.S., it's gonna be for the military, not for the NBA.
Wow.
The Mount Rushmore is going to be even more fun than the Mount Rushmore. Like,
Any surprises that each other named that you were?
I mean, you
besides
almost
Josh Smith?
you say botch for the end. I was like, if you don't have a stretch 4, I think I have to cancel the show. I have nothing I can believe in anymore.
So when I
Yeah.
started talking about the stretch big, you were like, "Oh."
I was like, thank God. I was like, there's things I rely on in my life, and one of them is Melissa's. It's in the intro, love of the stretch 4, and I was like, if you don't-
three guards in a stretch 4,
So if you don't pick a stretch 4,
and you already knew 2 of them.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I knew Penny and Bibby were people that you like idolize, but you never know what's going to go on the actual list, right? When you
Nah, I mean, if you look
No,
at my
I mean-
list, that's how I came up with them in that order.
And then honorable mention, nice.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, you don't ever know for sure, until you actually. People that don't do this, until you actually have to like commit to it, there's always a little bit of gray area.
Yeah. I was like Penny and Bibby, I knew, and then I was like, I have to put D Wade because that's. I mean, I've been a Heat fan for so long. The fourth one took me a minute, and then I was like, I was just scrolling through lists of players, and I was
Wait,
like, oh my god,
hold
Chris
on.
Bosh. Like, I have to have a stretch 4, and I loved Chris Bosh even when he was drafted by Toronto. I mean, that was. It shouldn't have been that hard.
Didn't all of your Penny did play on the Heat briefly, right? I think
Yeah.
all of your players played on the
It's
Heat.
NBA grid, baby.
Yeah, all
Come
your
on.
players played on the Heat.
Bibby played on the Heat.
Yep.
That's what I was making fun of. He
Wait.
played in the. Yeah, he did.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, he was the
I remember
2011
him from
NBA
his.
Finals.
I remember him from a Sacramento Kings day. You know when he was. When he was number 10.
And Penny, you obviously associate with the Magic, but they all traveled through the Heat.
I remember him. I remember him on the Hawks because when I played with Josh Smith on the Hawks, he would be the point guard for them.
He was doing post game for the Kings Heat game a few days ago, and he got really pissed off at the crowd because there was "Let's Go Heat" chants at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He was on the Heat team that we beat in the finals. He was the point guard.
Oh my god! You know who else I hate? The Morris twins. They're fucking annoying as shit too.
The Morris twins. I don't really have an opinion on them.
They're because they always try to get into shit. They're just annoying. One of them played for the Lakers too.
I feel like anyone on Utah is automatically 10% more annoying, and anyone on Boston. I feel like my whole thing is just to be.
Too. Ben Simmons is a soft like Charmin, man.
I feel like my entire list is just going to be Celtics, and the whole list is just going to be Celtics players and Jazz players. Also, I just was double checking. Yeah, Markieff is on the Mavericks right now, you bastard.
Yeah, you had to check though. Like, come on, dude. He doesn't even probably play.
No, he doesn't. Not right. I mean,
didn't he get released by them?
I think he's still on the team.
Or yeah, I don't know about that, man. You might want to check.
Pretty sure he's still on the active roster.
Yeah, I mean, I think he played for the Heat too.
Let's see.
Both of the brothers might have played for the Heat. Didn't Marcus Moore? Or he was only on the Clippers, and I don't remember actually.
Yeah, no, he's still here. This dumbass is wearing number 88. Little look at me number. He gets 8.9 minutes per game. Based on when he appeared in 18 games. So there you
go. Damn.
He's on the bench. Well, I saw him out of focus in the background when Strus threw that ball in from half court.
Oh yeah.
Bullshit.
A product of the Miami Heat.
Who's the team you guys hate the most?
Boston.
Like in terms of just.
Or you can come up with the top 3 if you want or whatever.
I don't like Boston.
Boston, New York, and Philly.
Boston, Philly, and then honestly, Suns fans are really fucking annoying too.
That's why Nate's moving to Rochester.
What's yours?
Definitely the Spurs are number 1. Bastards.
This is funny, man.
You don't know. You don't know, man. You don't know. God, 2 more. Probably.
I don't know. Why is this so hard for you guys? It took me like a second to name mine.
I just named mine too.
I said Boston.
You even paused for a second. Like mine was like boom, boom, boom. Like I didn't need like a millisecond.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna name a team, but I didn't want to offend anyone here.
Who are you gonna name? Miami?
Yeah.
Dallas? Miami?
Miami fans are really annoying, to be honest with you. Not you, Melissa, but
I mean, you can say she's annoying. It's okay.
She's not annoying.
I think I'm less annoying than you, Vish.
I never said you were more annoying. I just said you could say she was annoying. It wasn't a scale.
Yeah, Vish, why do you think she's annoying? She's not annoying.
I said you can say it. It's fine if you believe
Remember,
it.
Matt, he doesn't even like Chipotle, so I mean, you can't take
I know.
anything he says to heart.
I would be more likely to eat Chipotle than you would at this point. Yeah, mine's
No, I don't
definitely-
eat Chipotle because I don't want to die. I still
My-
love it. I just
my statement
reflex
was
stop it.
accurate, and that's all I'll say about that. Yeah,
But I would
mine's-
eat it to prove a point.
Mine is Spurs.
So you would die to prove a point.
Yes. To prove my love for Chipotle.
on the tombstone. But she loved Chipotle. It's totally worth it.
Chick-fil-A
no.
on Saturdays, Chipotle on Sundays.
Well, you can't do that the other way around, that's for sure. Yeah, I definitely hate Utah too, and Boston, just the racist teams. But
It's
yeah,
interesting that you guys have Eastern Conference teams on your list, and you guys root for.
well, just
Western
because
Conference
Boston,
teams.
the fans
Well, I
are
just hate
racist. I can't go
Philadelphia.
in for that. I don't feel
I'm
any way
Boston
about
fans.
Philadelphia.
So we all have Boston on our list.
Yeah, because you know what
Yeah.
drives a lot of that is Bill Simmons and like the Ringer, and they do a bunch of NBA coverage, and it's all Boston.
Bill Simmons is so annoying.
Well, but I mean that whole network is supposedly a national network that has pumped shit out nationally that is Boston focused, and I think that just annoys the shit out of everyone. It's like all in your face. It's like no one cares about the Celtics this much. Like, why is everything Celtics all the time? It's because it gets pumped out into the atmosphere. And by the way, if you don't hate the Spurs, watch any of their home broadcasts and listen to Sean Elliott for 5 minutes, and you will hate the Spurs. That man.
I love the two Heat broadcasters. Like
The
when
Heat, that's because the Heat have
like,
good broadcasters. You do not
when we have to
understand.
watch like the ESPN people broadcast the Heat game, it's so annoying.
The
Like give
Heat
me
have good
Eric Reed
broadcast-
and John Crotty any day of the week.
The Heat have good broadcasters, though.
Nobody says kaboom like Eric Reed.
The Sean Elliott just cheers for the Spurs openly. It is unwatchable. They called that foul on us. I'm like, what the fuck is even happening?
Us?
Yes, no, it is that bad. It is that bad.
Miami Heat broadcasts are fun.
By the
Don't-
way,
Don't the Spurs have a couple Knowles on their team too?
oh, they might.
They have
Yeah, they have what's his face? The
Vassell,
Yeah, Vassell. That's, yeah.
and they might have someone else too.
Yeah, fuck that franchise.
Need to know this now.
And Bruce Bone intentionally injuring people like that fucking team.
Ah, man, I should put him on my list.
Oh, Dante Jones would be on my list too.
This Trashmore
Fuck that
list. Bruce
trash
Bone's
talker
definitely
of
Bruce
people like
Bone's
me.
definitely like you don't like people outside of Texas probably don't realize this because the Spurs won almost every time, but that Mavericks Spurs rivalry in the early 2000s, because at that point it was the Lakers and the Spurs were the two best teams, and that's were the third best team. But we never win the
Yeah.
division because the Spurs were. We used to like get into fights with like physical, like there was a preseason game where both teams, like 7 guys got ejected, and Bruce Bowen. Every time Finley or Dirk or Nash would take a jumper, would stick his fucking foot underneath and injure them on purpose. That's why they make
Yeah,
a foul
they-
now. That
they-
piece of shit. Fuck
The
that
Spurs
team.
have two Knowles.
God.
Raekwon Gray too. I think he's on a 2-way deal.
There
I
you
knew
go.
it.
See,
Yeah.
by the end of this,
Awful.
you're both gonna have the Spurs on your list. Fuck that franchise. And I had to go watch us lose to Baylor at that fucking arena.
And Jeremy Sohan is from Baylor. Another reason.
No,
All
that
these
team is-
connections.
that team was so unlikable. Hated them.
I kind of wish I had another Reese's peanut butter cup here.
No, left one out. Actually, if you left one out, you would have eaten it 2 seconds later, so it wouldn't be
Yeah.
there.
Self-control.
I mean, going.
I didn't have anywhere to put the trash, so I just put it back in the bag too. I should really go grab that and throw it out.
If you go grab that, you're gonna come back with more Reese's.
I need some Reese's,
You're
man.
gonna go open the bag.
I would
There's no
totally
way-
share them with you if you were closer, Matt, but you're really far away.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe you can make the throw.
Also, we got to meet Matt's parents offline, like the other show, which was fun. And we met his wife at was it a Taco Bell drive-through that you've
You're
Yeah.
just in the car, right?
Space
After
that you-
going through.
All
Yeah, I rejoined the stream.
The stream.
Yeah,
We interrupted their
eating Taco
dinner.
Bell.
We interrupted
As long
their
as
dinner.
these streams go, there is some nights where we spend like another hour after the stream ends just chatting backstage.
Yeah, I already thought we were backstage right now, and then I saw the
No,
top.
This
top
is on.
left. I
This
was
is
about to
on
say
air.
something.
This is
This
on
is on
air,
air.
so keep the comments on point now.
I don't know. You just told somebody like fuck off. So I mean,
Yeah, Bruce Bowen can fuck off. He wants to come.
he's
Yeah,
on my
Bruce
list. He's right there with.
He
Paul
wants to
Pierce.
come on. He wants to come on the show and talk about why he was injuring players on purpose for his whole career. He can do that.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, we talked about that guy.
I mean, I'm gonna run out of people because I gotta have Stockton and Malone. Karl Malone, when he wasn't raping 14-year-olds, was elbowing people. Yeah, he did. Look it up.
Yeah, he
Not even
did.
joking. He's got kids with children. What happens in Utah, man, you have no idea. But
I'm
Doesn't
sorry
matter.
if we have any Utah watchers.
oh, Matt's boy doesn't watch the show. But
He hates Karl Malone too. So
no, I
He
mean
had a
it was
bad
it,
experience
it,
with
it was
Karl
like
Malone.
no, he's a piece of crap, and he's actually lucky he was in a small market because I think in a big market that stuff would have gotten a lot more press. But no, that's like not me. That's a true thing. Like he had a child with a 14-year-old. Like that is a true thing, and on the court he would just elbow people. Like that's his whole thing was. Couldn't stand those Utah teams.
I met him one time when he just finished his season with the Lakers at the end of his career. Super random.
He went ring chasing.
Yep. Didn't work out though.
Did not. The Pistons took care of that.
Damn Pistons, man.
Oh, let's see. Oh, my fault. It wasn't a 14-year-old. It was a 13-year-old. I had the years wrong. When he was 20. Anyway.
Jeez.
Melissa didn't know that story. She thought I was just making stuff up.
I'm not a Utah Jazz fan, so.
Oh, I am definitely not a Utah Jazz fan. No, but that's like no. It's actually it's kind of relevant now a little bit because there are like awards named after him, and they're like, they give out the Karl Malone Award for this, and be like, well, I don't want an award with that guy's name on it.
He used to have a monster truck named after him. Super random fact.
There is kind of a it does come up occasionally, which is why I remembered it because obviously it's ancient history now, but because there's like the Karl Malone Award for this, it's like
LeBron James scored his 40,000 point in a loss. I think.
Yeah.
They were losing.
Yeah, they lost. They should have won, but soft.
So, anything else to discuss before we get out of here? We managed to get 2 hours out of the show. Wow, time flies.
Well, it was the Mount Rushmore topic was good. That's fine.
We got a few more out of it too that we'll discuss.
I think the Mount Trashmore is gonna just be like a hater. It's
Who
gonna
do
be
we
fun.
hate the most?
It's gonna be
No,
fun.
yeah,
Well, we gotta do
this is
two, right? We gotta do
difficult.
retired and current. So
Yeah.
we gotta do them both. But yeah, there's unfortunately, there's 12 Celtics. I can only name 4 of them. So. We'll see if we revisit this in a couple years. We'll see if Wembanyama's gotten annoying enough to get on my list. He already plays for the Spurs, so he's already moved near the top.
I love Wembanyama.
Let's see if he might make my trash for a list eventually. He's on the Spurs. That's already like getting him in range at this point. This is bored. as if she's not the one who gets to cue the Sox outro.
Cue the Sox outro. Don't cry. Keep it chill. Wear good socks.
Buckets.